Hello, Terry.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, good. Great to see you again.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Hi, Mats.
Hi. Hi.
Good to see you too.
Yeah. Good morning or good afternoon or whatever.
What makes music inspiring?
It's important to look at intuition first, actually, because if you look at what the word tuition means, and if you look in, it's inner teaching. You're laying yourself open to a teaching which comes from a place that is not limited to the world of knowledge. It's opening up to the unknown, which is intuition. So we are being guided by an inner knowing.
So Mats?
Yeah, I experience the same thing. It's like as long as you hold on to something, then you are kind of locking it in. You're locking the vibration, you're locking the energy in. But as soon as you let go of it or let go of the need of having it to be in a specific way, then you open up so that the life flow can come through you, which is more the aspect that I like to focus on. It's all about how to tap into the life flow. So, and I think that's the source of inspiration and the intuition as well. And of course, there are different layers of intuition if you speak about that, because you have the intuition that you are picking up from the common consciousness that you are connected with. That's one level, of intuition. And then you have the other level, which is way past that. And to become one with that, then you have to do a little bit more of letting go, you know, of what you think is needed to keep a certain thought or state or frame about something. So the more you can let go and kind of submerge in the life flow, then all the inspiration and all the intuitional insights are actually there. So that's what we do when we are improvising music. Actually, usually when I'm playing, I'm almost only improvising all the time. So it's about going into this state where music and impulses are happening so that it can be expressed. Because I think that music anyway is a result of life flow. You know, so it's just to tap into this segment, this specific segment that is there, or is optimal for this moment, for the consciousness that you are sharing your music with at all times.
And this, of course, applies to many fields of life. Like I experienced this in motorcycling. What you perceive of the world and what you perceive of Australia in that setting?
Well, as a human race, we're basically all in the same boat, eh? And even though it feels a lot easier here because we don't have so much in the way of restrictions as the rest of the world, it's my firm conviction that everything takes care of itself in a sense of being naturally evolving. Like, for example, if we were to leave nature completely alone, it would find balance. And I feel there's a natural movement towards balance, not only in nature out there, in this body as well. And we have millions of years of evolution here. And just to leave it alone, take our finger out of the pie, as they say in England, and not looking for problems. The problem solver is a whole mechanism which is there to help with the survival of the human race, with the survival of the planet and nature. And because we wrongly identify in that place, which is a naturally evolving process, which takes care of that area by itself, we're constantly looking for problems out there. And so if we're constantly looking for problems, we find them. And actually the area of education is probably the most important area, because we need to look back at ourselves and see the mechanics of perception, how we are actually looking from the wrong place. The place where I feel is the most natural place is the place of what is commonly referred to as the witness, the pure consciousness, the place of allowing everything to be as it is, without trying to solve the problem using only the tools of something which is constantly referring to the past, the whole process of thinking is very limited, because we only know what we know from past experience. And the natural evolving world around us has the good of the whole in mind.
How can we use sound healing to improve our lives? What other aspects or methods or approaches or facets of life in general are key in order to thrive no matter what the circumstances are? And like you spoke to, Terry, though you've been sad at times for not being able to travel, because it's an inspiring thing to do, to meet your audience and friends around the world, you're resilient still. And this resilience misses a lot of people these days. There's a lot of fear and a lot of trauma and a lot of frustration. And how can we assist people in moving into finding the right tools or approaches to more resilience, perhaps, is a theme that we can approach right now.
Well, I feel that one of the biggest steps that any human being can take is to take the focus away from the objects out there and turn the gaze within. Because who is looking is much more important than what's out there. And this may not be something that people can understand straight away, but you have to do it in order to realize that objects don't create happiness. Anything that is out there, if we have a reason for being happy, it's not going to last very long, because that everything is arising and passing away. And so to try and make it the reason for the way I'm feeling is the biggest illusion that we have to see through. I'm already happy, no matter what happens, which means that we're no longer dependent on the world out there to give us what we want, what we like. And I suppose we're talking about areas like meditation and practices to begin with. I've personally have probably spent 25 years on a cushion in my practices, and it takes time for something to sink in sometimes. Well, I would go to my cushion to find the peace. And then, of course, I had to come back into my life. And there, the peace was a bit harder to find.
And whatever inspires people to take it then into the other aspects of life, so that we start to fill life itself with the best of our qualities. And Mats?
Well, this is obviously a great challenge for a lot of people, or for all people, to find their way of being in contact with what matters at all times. So some do it by meditation, some do it by, there are innumerous ways to do it. But I think Steinar's aspect here, or perspective, is very interesting. Most important with contact is that it's not when the circumstances are optimal, like when you are by yourself sitting, then it's easy to have the contact. But it's all about out there in the world, like we are talking now, for instance, when I'm looking for words, and this is life, and I think this is so important to embrace that and to accept that we are what we are, and we are not ideal beings in any way, meaning that everything that we are experiencing all the time, it's us, it's part of the totality that we are. So I think that acceptance of whatever we are into at all times is one of the major spiritual principles that we can all exercise at all times, actually. And become aware of and re-become aware of as well. You see what I mean? It's all about, just like we talked about yesterday also, it's about being in the now. And being in the now is a lot about acceptance of what is, both what is happening within you and what is happening around you. And what is happening around you is anyway just reflections of what is inside you, and all that you have inside are reflected into what's around you anyway. So the more we can encompass everything that we are in contact with in our lives, makes us more one with the moment and the now as well.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I had an idea a few moments ago to ask you, Mats, to lead us in the meditation, but I feel that just the conversation here is bringing us into presence. So what are you sensing, Terry?
Yeah, the word acceptance is absolutely crucial, because if we are discriminating between what we accept and what we don't accept, we have a resistance to what is actually a natural flow of creation and destruction. The yin and yang is part of being in the moment, because you cannot exclude anything from acceptance. Acceptance is all or nothing. As soon as you don't accept, you're going to be stuck in a kind of looping situation where you're actually resisting the flow, trying to swim back upstream. And hence the difficulty that people feel, because if you don't accept, you see, it's a very subtle thing, this word acceptance. It doesn't mean to say you accept everything that people say, you accept the situation, you bow to, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to be locked down. It's being in the moment, being available as a conduit, as an expression of something which is beyond that little area of thinking, the belief system that's created this character called Terry, that I know now is a complete illusion, because it's just a load of stories put together by thought. What I am is pure consciousness, and pure consciousness contains everything and is everything at the same time. It's the I am that I am, which is very difficult to understand. You cannot understand it using thinking. You can only step into the being of it when thought drops away. And that's why the cushion is, to begin with, so important, because it gives you the technique.
Mangalaya